Hey, I hope you are doing well today. Now, you have seen me set yearly goals. You've also seen me set budget goals month over month. In today's video, I'm going to share with you my monthly goals for the year. Let's go. As I was approaching becoming consumer debt-free last September, I looked ahead and saw that the next baby step was to save 3 to 6 months living expenses in an emergency fund. And though that was exciting, it did give me pause a little bit. So for the next however many months, I'm supposed to be pouring money into this savings account when for the last 34 months, I had been repaying debt, being very disciplined, all while praying. Please, water heater, please. Please, Roxy, don't. Come on, HOA, give me a break. And something just didn't sit right with me, moving ahead so laser focused on that next step. I also knew that right after that was the investing step, and I was going to do my best to max out my 2020 Roth IRA and HSA if I was able to do that. So I knew that in order to move forward feeling great about executing the baby steps, I was going to need to come up with a plan to get these things done. Let's head to the Excel spreadsheet. So here's what I put together. I've listed out my goals month over month, as you can see here. I will zoom you in just a bit, but I wanted to show you it's a simple Excel spreadsheet. I am going to walk through this somewhat tutorial style if you want to make one of these for yourselves. Also, I've seen this in planners before. You can whip out a sheet of paper and make one as well, but this just helps me to see throughout the year where to place things so I can get as much done as I possibly can. So we'll get started with January. And I'll go ahead and zoom you in quite a bit. That should be big enough. Okay, so for January, I had a goal to finish my 6 months emergency fund to contribute to my 2020 Roth IRA as much as possible, to pay the first part of my HOA fees, and to get Roxy's state inspection. So those were all completed. So I'm going to update this as well. And what I'm going to do is insert a symbol at the front of this to show completion. So I'm going to either insert a check mark with a box or a check mark alone to indicate that this has been completed. I might actually strike through as well. So you'll see all that happening. What I'm going to do is take you up here to the top and over to the side, first in this insert tab. So I'm going to place my cursor at the beginning. All the way over to the right is insert a symbol. So let me see if I can get you over there. And you can see it here. So I'll insert a symbol, click on that, and it'll bring up this menu. And so let me bring you back over here. Sorry for all the movement, but I wanted you to see where that was. So the symbols I'm going to use are actually in Wingdings. And so they are the check mark. Let's see if I can find it really quickly here. Yeah, so the X, the check mark, the X in the box, the check in the box. So let me try this one first. So we'll insert that. You can see it inserted it there. I actually like that. Okay, so you know where those symbols are. I like the look of the strike through and also that symbol at the beginning of the line. Now that's a little bit tedious. I'm going to catch this up, so it may seem like a lot of work right now, but of course, if I'm doing this month over month, this takes hardly any time. Now again, I could insert those symbols every time, or I can use the shortcut. The shortcut for the check in the box is 0254. And for the X in the box is Alt 0253, okay? So I'm going to start out by inserting a space in front of each of these lines because I want a little space between my symbol and my strike through because I don't want to strike through my symbol. So let's see. I'm going to do this. And again, this seems a little tedious. I'm going for a look here, so that's why it does, but let's see here. Essentially, I'm going to strike through each of these, as you can see. And then I'm going to come back and insert my symbol. So what I have to do is Alt 0254 for a check mark. And it's going to come through this way because this is Calibri, or I hope that's how you say that. But this is actually a Wingdings symbol. So I have to go there and make that symbol Wingdings. So I'm going to do that for each of these lines. And now I can just copy and paste. changing each of these to wingdings. Okay, looking good and accomplished so far. Now on to February. My goal was to contribute as much as I could to my 2020 Roth IRA and also to have a birthday trip, which I actually didn't take a trip. So I'm going to change that birthday trip to birthday plans because even though I didn't go out of town, I stayed local. I did spend some money on myself and I had a great time. Now on to March. These are the goals I had originally planned for March, but as you know, I was able to max out my 2020 Roth IRA, and so I'm going to make that change as well as create a line for the HSA where I'm just going to list that I want to contribute as much as possible to that 2020 HSA. So just in case you didn't already know, in order to enter in a cell, in one cell within Excel, you'll have to hit Alt Enter. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is actually do that. I'm going to delete this, Alt Enter, so it goes down to this next line. And I am going to copy this down to there because I want to contribute to 2020 HSA as much as possible. And I am going to update this to show max out 2020 Roth IRA. So max out 2020 Roth IRA, contribute to HSA as much as possible, pay the second half of my HOA fees, Lucy state inspection, and to pay Lucy and Roxy's auto taxes. All of that was completed. So I am going to finish out this box. Okay, so here's where some of the changes come in. If you hadn't already heard, instead of April 15th, the tax deadline is May 17th this year. So I have a little more time to max out my 2020 HSA, and I think I'm going to give it a shot. So I need to adjust my April goals. Okay, so here where I had that I wanted to contribute to my 2020 Roth and my 2020 HSA as much as possible. Of course, I have already maxed out my 2020 Roth and I want to contribute to my 2020 HSA as much as possible. So I am going to make that update. I had also hoped to get some estimates for getting gutters installed on the house. I'm going to call out a few companies, have them give me estimates, and then make my decisions. So April looks pretty good to me. May, I was hoping to have those gutters installed and to have my land surveyed. Though now that I have a little bit more time to max out that 2020 HSA, I think I am going to prioritize that. I'm not exactly sure if I will be able to get the gutters installed. I think I should still be able to get the land surveyed. I don't think that should be but between $100 to $200. But getting the gutters put in themselves, I will just have to see. But what I'm going to at least do is contribute up to the tax deadline as much as possible to that HSA. So I will copy that over to May. So in June, I plan to start making contributions to my 2021 Roth IRA, as well as additional payments to my mortgage. Baby step 6. So I'm going to stop today's video here. This is more than enough. The first quarter was really exciting and I made leaps and bounds towards my goals. It looks like in the second quarter I will too, and that is very exciting to me. Of course, I'm going to be sharing this moving forward, but I wanted you to see how I've taken my yearly goals, broken it down into month-sized pieces to get as much done as I possibly can this year and to meet the goals that I've set for myself. I know I can do it. I know you can do it. So let's do it. Let me know in the comments what you think of this method of goal setting and what you use to stay on track to meet your yearly goals. You know, I'm interested to hear. I'll see you next time. Bye.